Welcome back, everyone. Today, in accordance with the results of the Twitter poll, I am going to be sharing my thoughts on deep yellow. Deep yellow has the necessary optimism to be exploring for uranium deep in a bear market and through a bear market. They have long believed that a supply deficit is coming, and that's fine because at this point, someone who's bullish on uranium might agree with something like that. Now, this company, this management, this team carries the memory of the 1 cent to $10 Paladin run. They are hoping for Act 2. Now, I think that's unlikely for a number of reasons, but that's not me saying that I don't like the stock. Now, to those of you who are thinking about asking me why do I think 100,000% return is unlikely, please do me a favor and ask it again, but slowly. Now, just me looking logistically, if you look at 16 cents, which is the low, unless it goes lower, and then you were to extrapolate the percentage return out, well, that would be a $31 billion market cap without issuing any more shares. Now, I don't think that's exceptionally likely. However, if you look at what type of return could be achieved going from an explorer to a producer, there is potential for significant upside. And as I went through before and will go through again later, the management has done that in the past. So could it be a repeat? To those of you who are pointing out that Deep Yellow has been lower, yes, but they did a share consolidation in 2016, 2017, going from just under 2 billion shares to 129 million. Now, they have, Deep Yellow that is, been talking about a supply gap for a long time. So they're not necessarily the only visionaries that are predicting it in 1 or 2 years. They've been talking about a supply gap since at least 2012. Deep Yellow. I haven't been following the whole time, but I've gone back and done some looking. Now, again, can they go from an explorer to a producer? Well, that's a significant step and there'd be some hurdles along the way, but if they're able to do it, significant potential is there. Currently, though, they are exploring Namibia for uranium, which is, I've mentioned in the past, and I'll mention again, I really like Namibia as a location for uranium. It's a good mix of stability, speed, and helpful government, which is unique. Now, the one thing I will say about uranium mining in Namibia is if you look around, the economics of different mines vary significantly, but very few are exceptionally low cost. Now, in the what they do have and what they don't have category, they do have a lot of resources. They have a lot of pounds in the ground, and they have a 43-101 to back up those pounds. What they don't have is any advanced economic assessments of what those pounds might be worth. And they do have, at least as of the time of making this slide, a $53 million US market cap. Now, you could deduct some cash from that to give them a enterprise value slightly lower, but that's just what they're currently valued at in the market. Now, as to the question of what are they worth, unfortunately, I have no idea. I could guess, but that's not my specialty in terms of guessing. Basically, I would look at some cost structures in the region, and if you look, I would say that the all-in sustaining costs could be mid 40s, could be high 40s, but I would guess in the 40s. But it could easily be lower. I don't know, and I won't be making an assumption or a guess before watching the professionals do it, give a professional economic assessment, and then I will think, okay, well, that's a good basis. At this point, it would be a guess. So I don't know what they're worth. I don't know if they'll find more. I don't know when they'll work towards the assessment and when they would be ready to go. Those are all the questions that I think is important to think about. I think it's also important to think that, yes, we could make a guess right now as to what they may be worth, but they're still going to have to spend some time and some money trying to figure that out. Now, will it be a massive amount of money, or will they be able to do it quickly and efficiently? We'll see. Um, they what they'll have to have some idea of the economics and report that, and there's still going to be a significant amount of time between now and when they're finally know what it's going to cost definitively to go into production, and then some more time between that and production. Now, the good news in that line of thought is I believe their management, A, has done it before and has the ability to do it again. Now, will they? When will they? That is still, at this point, guesswork, along with will they find more and how big, how much production could they be? Now, as to the cost of the company, when Deep Yellow was first mentioned to me or asked about in some brief way, in terms of what African miners am I looking at, or potential prospective miners, I didn't focus much on Deep Yellow because at the time I found it had a rather large premium compared to some of the other stocks. Now, in the time between then and now, that premium has very much decreased. Is it is Deep Yellow the cheapest uranium stock in Africa or even Namibia? No, I don't think so. But the question then becomes, is the slight premium that you're maybe paying for the management too much? And is the company too expensive to buy? There, I don't think it is. I think it's reasonably priced. And on that, I'll look quickly at some statements I believe, or questions I believe to be answerable in terms of pricing. Are you paying for Borshoff? I believe so. Is it worth it? Probably, maybe, somewhere in there. Is the asset more expensive than its peers? And to that, I would say probably, but maybe I believe that that's because some of its peers are some of the cheaper ones in the group. Maybe that's deserved because of cost, and maybe Deep Yellow's cost will be better. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. But is the stock expensive given its potential and the potential of the uranium price? Well, if that's the bottom line question, I would say the answer is not even close. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you are thinking about more questions with regards to Deep Yellow than before the video, or have some answered. I normally don't do videos on pre-economic stage deposits, but this one was rather highly requested, so I figured I'd get to it. So with that, I hope you enjoyed. Interested in your comments, leave them below. Tell me what you think, and have a great day. Until next time. Hey everyone, just quickly, you can read this here or in the description of any video. Just remember, what I do and say here is meant to be a helpful supplement or thought filter for your research, not a replacement for it. I can be wrong, and I'm often quite early, aka wrong for a good while, which is why none of this is ever investment advice.